He never spoke to her. Not really. No conversations. No shared jokes. No moments anyone would call something. Just distance. Just stolen seconds. Just a boy who knew her name, and a girl who probably didn't know his thoughts even existed. And that's what made it worse. He watched her from the edges of rooms, from across hallways, from places where he pretended not to look. He learned the rhythm of her presence without ever touching it. When she entered a space, he felt it immediately, like the air changed, like his chest tightened without warning. He told himself it was stupid. He told himself to stop. But feelings don't listen. She had no idea how often she lived in his head. No idea how many times he imagined what her voice would sound like saying his name. No idea how his heart panicked every time she came close. How his body froze because his mind screamed, "Don't be seen." He never approached her because what would he even say? I felt too small. Silence felt safer. He built entire moments out of nothing. A glance that lasted half a second. Her laughing with someone else. Her passing by him like he was invisible. And somehow that hurt more than if she had looked at him and turned away. At night, it all came crashing down. That's when he stopped pretending he was fine. That's when his thoughts turned loud and ugly and honest. He wondered what was wrong with him. Why his heart chose someone he could never reach. Why he felt so deeply for a person who lived so far outside his life. He imagined conversations that would never happen. He imagined being brave. He imagined her knowing. And then he imagined her not caring. That was the part that broke him. So he stayed quiet. He stayed small. He carried this feeling alone, letting it rot inside him, letting it teach him how lonely love can be when it has nowhere to go. He didn't love her in a beautiful way. He loved her in a desperate way, in a silent, aching, embarrassing way. She was happiness he couldn't touch, a thought he couldn't escape, a name his heart reacted to even when his face stayed blank. And the worst part? She would never know she mattered like this to someone. She would never know that somewhere in the background of her life, there was a boy who learned what longing felt like just by existing near her. He never spoke to her, but she lived inside him anyway. He tried to kill the feeling. Not gently, not patiently. He tried to crush it the way you crush a thought you're ashamed of. He told himself she was just a face, just a name, just another person moving through the world without noticing him. He forced his eyes away when she passed. He stayed quiet when he wanted to look. He trained himself to act like she didn't matter. It never worked, because his body reacted before his mind could stop it. His heart sped up without asking. His hands felt heavy. His chest tightened like it was holding back something violent and fragile at the same time. He hated how weak it made him feel, how something so unspoken had so much control. Some days he convinced himself he was over it. Those were the easiest lies to tell. All it took was one glimpse of her, her head tilted slightly as she listened to someone else, and everything came rushing back, sharp and humiliating. He wondered what it would feel like to be known by her. Not loved, not chosen, just noticed. He didn't want grand gestures. He wanted something small. Eye contact that lasted a second too long. A reason to exist in her awareness. Proof that he wasn't invisible in a world where she felt so real. He hated himself for wanting it. Because wanting meant hope, and hope was dangerous. So he turned his feelings inward. Let them bruise him instead of risking letting them out. He let days pass where she smiled at others, and he swallowed the ache. Let nights stretch long while he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying moments that weren't even memories, just possibilities that never happened. There were times he almost spoke. His feet moved before his courage could catch up. His mouth opened. His heart screamed. And then fear won, every single time. Fear of her polite confusion. Fear of being just another stranger who overstepped. Fear of confirming what he already suspected, that he was nothing more than background noise in her life. So he stepped back again, and slowly, painfully, He learned how to live with the weight. The feeling didn't disappear. It changed shape. It became quieter, heavier. Something he carried with him everywhere, like a scar no one could see. It taught him restraint, taught him how to love without permission, taught him that some emotions don't ask to be felt. They just arrive and demand space. Years later, she would still cross his mind at unexpected moments. Not with longing anymore, but with a soft ache. Not regret, just understanding. She was the first person who made him realize how deep he could feel, even in silence. And maybe that was enough. Because even though he never spoke to her, she left something behind. Proof that his heart worked. Proof that he was capable of loving, even when it hurt, even when it stayed locked inside him, unnamed and unseen. And in the quiet, he finally understood. Some people don't enter your life to stay. They enter to awaken something in you.